on Facebook, so we got to go YouTube and, you know what I mean, all these places, yeah? Wonderful. All right. So, give thanks and praises. Yes, son. Wonderful. We are on YouTube Live, we are on Facebook Live, because we spread the message of good health. And don't forget to give thanks and praises to the Most High, Jehovah God. Because we said before that the physical man do not understand spiritual things. Because spiritual things to the physical man is foolishness. So the physical man do not discern spiritual things. You don't understand it. But the spiritual man discern or can discern both physical and spiritual things. Make him have more wisdom. You understand? Right. So tonight we're going to talk about the spiritual man who can discern both physical and spiritual things, not the physical man only. Alright? And tonight we're going to talk about the lung, because I have a dear friend, two friends as a matter of fact. Rooney Barnett, I think she's looking with Mike Barnett, my brother, who brought Rooney to Grenada with lung cancer. She's still living after 3 years. And Maxine Murray, my very good friend, who I bought to Grenada with Dennis Brown in 1999. And she have suffering from COPD. You can see a picture of her and I before I left New York last week, Friday. Right? And because these, I think I was talking to Maxine, and Maxine said she's waiting on a machine, and the machine is out of stock. Out of stock means that lots of people are suffering from COPD, emphysema, lung troubles, lung infection, tonsil stones, bronchitis, walking pneumonia, inflammatory pneumonia too. So we're going to tell you, teach you tonight how you could take care of the lung and keep the lung healthy, and herbs you can use for different conditions of the lung. Because lots of herbalists do not understand that you have to know the condition of the lung in order for you to prescribe herbs that is good for that condition of the lung. So if you look at some companies, a herbalist, they have one lung formula, and they give you that lung formula for any kind of lung disorders. See? But there are different conditions of the lung. And once there are different conditions of the lung, you have to know what herbs to use for the lung. Otherwise, that person will say to you that the herbs that you gave me for my lung is not working. Why? Because the herbalist did not know what condition of the lung that you have. That's very significant. All right? So we can talk about the different conditions of the lung and what herbs work for those conditions. All right? Wonderful. Now we have herbs for COPD. We have herb for saccharidosis, where it's called the lung. We have herb for lung infection. We have herb for tonsil stones, bronchitis, pneumonia, walking pneumonia. You know what I mean? And we're going to show you what you can do with garlic and onions to drop on the lung if there's a lung infection. Yeah? Wonderful. First, we want to talk about sea moss. Over here. Now, I put up a post on sea moss the other day, and then some people say that sea moss not supposed to have salt. You know what I mean? How come? If sea moss come from the sea, the purple sea moss, that's the original color of the sea moss, purple. If sea moss come from the sea, why not supposed to have salt? That's common sense. It's supposed to have salt. So what they do is, see the salt right here, right? Here, Chris, over here. Now, watch me now. When you take that salt from the sea, it feels cold and it dissolves. You know for a fact that is the real salt from the sea, because it's dissolved already and it feels very cold. Over here, right? So what they do is, this one over here now, come over here now. They wash the salt from this sea moss over here. They wash out the sea moss, and then all the salt evaporates over here. So this is the sea moss without the salt. This is the sea moss with the salt. Now, when the sea moss comes without the salt, it look like this here. Either it stay in the sun, it keep the purple, or you see the sun evaporates the salt from the sea moss. See? That's a good sea moss. What some people do is they wash out the salt from the sea moss and make it become like that. But although it become like this over here, there is still salt in the sea moss there. It's still there. You might not see it, but it's there. So 90% of the salt is gone, but at least you have 10% or 5% of the salt still embedded in the sea moss itself. So people are miseducated because they don't understand. So they feel when they buy a pound of sea moss with salt, they're losing. So what the seller will do is he would put an extra quarter pound of the sea moss in the pound of sea moss to make up for the salt that is what quarter pound, whatever it is. You understand? See them here? See? Gold. Some say sea moss gold. So the people who are talking about sea moss gold, you know, gold sea moss, they're saying the sea moss is not supposed to have salt. So the sea moss have the salt for a purpose, for iodine, because you need iodine to make thyroxine, especially if you have an underactive thyroid gland. You need the salt in the sea moss. So don't be fooled by these people who are saying to you that you're not supposed to have salt in the sea moss. You're not supposed to have the table salt that they put back in your sea moss, making you feel is the salt from the sea. So I'm teaching you now that once you have the salt from the sea and you put it in your hands and you put it on your tongue, it dissolves and it tastes very cold. Then you know it's the real salt from the sea. If it don't dissolve on your tongue, don't get cold, it's not the right salt. It's the salt, the sodium chloride they take and put in your sea moss. See what I'm saying? All right? So, sea moss is supposed to have salt because from the sea. Somebody said today, Dr. Sebi said. It's not everything that Dr. Sebi says is right. Not everything that Dr. Sebi said was right. He's a human being like all of us. He makes mistakes too. And he said sea moss not supposed to have salt. So Dr. Sebi was crazy then. If salt comes from the sea, you must have sea moss in it. You must have salt in the sea moss. That's common sense. All right? Wonderful. So with all salt and with salt, this is the best one with the salt, especially if you have an underactive thyroid gland. Wonderful. See? Now, this sea moss here comes from this batch, which is without salt. But after a while, you must see the salt, because the salt become embedded in the sea moss itself. So people have to educate themselves. And you see the sea moss? See how hard it is? See? Now, that's how it's supposed to be, not soft. It only gets soft after you put the sea moss in water to soak. And the sea moss will get soft. And if it's left out there so, it's not supposed to even get soft. That means it's false sea moss. You understand? And somebody said that companies who selling sea moss can be sued. You're buying vitamin with hexene and benzene, you don't sue the vitamin company too? Come on, man. I mean, here's a picture of that. Wonderful. Get this here. People are ignorant of the fact. Wonderful. Now, what's over here now? This is boiled sea moss. See it here? Now, this is sea moss that is boiled. See? Boiled sea moss. See it here? That's boiled sea moss. See? Now, the purpose of the sea moss with boiled like this with sorrel and cinnamon and ginger is for your lung. You see, so you have to know to use the sea moss. Yeah? So this sea moss here, if it's boiled and the person have a dry condition of the lung, then you can give them the sea moss as a tea to moisten their lung tissue so that the cough, the dry cough, can go away, because sea moss is also important for the lung. Sea moss is also important as a tea to remove excessive amount of mucus from the eyes. You follow me? So there are different ways of using sea moss. See? It's not only like this, where you blend it up in a blender. You can use it as a tea if you have a dry condition of the lung. So you have to know what is the condition of the lung in order for you to know what herbs to use or how to use your sea moss. All right? Wonderful. So we're going to make a little blend tonight with sea moss. We're going to make a blend with sea moss and show you how you can use the sea moss in different forms, different ways. Talk about the lung first. We go to the lung now, right? My son is kind of stupid. Here we go. Come over here now. Lung disease. Lung disease. You want to sit down? Lung disease. What is the function of the lung? In herbal medicine, we call the lung the tender organ. Why we call the lung the tender organ? Because of where the lung is located. And remember, here, watch me here. The right lung is shorter than the left lung. Your right lung is shorter than the left lung. Why? Because it has to make up space for your liver. The left lung is thinner than the right lung, because the left lung have to make up space for your heart. So the Creator that is great. God is a great, 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 great God. Because we are wonderfully made by the Most High Jehovah God. Right lung is shorter than the left lung. Because God knew He going to put the liver on the head. And He going to have to make up space for your liver. So He made the right lung shorter. And He made the left lung thinner because He knew He was going to put the heart in your chest. Follow me now. God is great. Follow me. Where do you go? Wonderful. What is the function of the lung? Your lung deals with gas exchange of what? Or respiration. What is respiration? Breathing. Give God the glory. Your lung function, it deals with gas exchange or respiration. What is respiration? Breathing. While breathing air, oxygen enters the bloodstream, while carbon dioxide, which is a gas with waste from food metabolism, leaves the blood. Go through the left right ventricle, come back in the atrium to the ventricle. You understand? So while breathing air, oxygen enters the bloodstream, while carbon dioxide, a gas which is from food metabolism, with waste products, leaves the blood every day. So that's why the people who have all these viruses, these infections in the lung, especially in China right now, is because they have bad air. They're polluted. New York is polluted. China is polluted. India polluted. So they can't fix the coronavirus that way if they have a lot of pollution. This common sense. Because the lung is important. See? Wonderful. Number 3. A reduce in lung function is going to be my book. It's going to be the book. I want you all to get a book. The book coming out soon. Almost ready. A reduce in lung function will affect your lung's ability to reduce its exchanges of gases, causing the lung to reduce its effectiveness. I have a whole chapter on the lung in the book, and herbs you can use for the lung too. A reduce in lung function will affect the lung's ability to reduce its exchanges of gases, causing your lung to reduce its effectiveness, like when you have COPD, emphysema, lung troubles, lung infection, pneumonia, water in the lung. Follow me. Follow me now. What is the function of the bronchioles? To make sure that the air is supplied to the alveolus. The alveolus, the blood vessels, this here. Alveolus is the blood vessels that surrounds the air, the alveoli. Is called what? Small capillaries. So the blood vessels that surround the alveoli is called what? Small, tiny capillaries. They all need blood. Follow me. Oxygen through the thin or small capillary walls is where oxygen enters. Where? From where? From the blood. While carbon dioxide and water leave the what? The blood. Follow. So you have to have good lung health. Breathing is important. I'm going to teach you how to keep the lung healthy now. Let's look at the condition of the lung. When you have a hot and damp condition of the lung, there are herbs you use for that condition. Danshen, honeysuckle, ground ivy, it's a few of them. And what they do is, if you have mucus excess in the lung, if you have bronchitis, if you have a sore throat that is caused by the coronavirus, these are the herbs you have to use for when you have a hot, damp condition of your lung. Tonsil stones, cough with pain. So lots of people who have COPD, when they cough, they get lots of pain. So these herbs will help with that. But I would throw in another plant called white willow bark if there's extra pain. Or if there's inflammation, I will put in cat's claw or blackberry for a hot, damp condition of the lung. Dampness, you're in herbal school now. Dampness of the lung means that you have a mucus is in the lung. So you have an excessive amount of mucus in your lung when you have a damp condition of the lung. So you cannot use over here. You can't use sea moss. You can't use sea moss. Because sea moss is a damp plant that is called a demulsion plant. We cannot use sea moss in a damp condition of the lung. Because there's also mucus in excess. You are in herbal medicine school tonight now. Follow me. Come over here. So when you have a damp condition of the lung, you have mucus, excessive amount of mucus, and cancer in the lung do cause mucus to form too, because the tumors do create mucus in the lung. So you cannot use sea moss if there is a damp condition of your lung. You have to use plants to drive the dampness. Danshan does that, or salvia root. Honeysuckle does that. Ground ivy does that. They dry up the dampness of the lung. If the lung is damp, and you have a cough, and you're coughing up mucus, and the mucus is causing you to have pain when you cough, these are the herbs you have to use because you have mucus in excess, bronchitis, inflammation, sore throat, heat, hot, damp. So the hot is what? Sore throat. Because sore throat is what? Is what we call a heated condition. So hot and damp means that you have a sore throat, which is hot, a fever, which is hot, but you have a cough, and the cough is damp. And you bring up excessive amount of mucus. So you have to dry it up. You got to use cool plants. Danshan is a cooling plant. Honeysuckle and ground ivy dries up the dampness. You must know. So all these people who come and say they're herbalists, they're joke herbalists. They don't understand how the lung works. Wonderful. Next one. Lung. A cold, damp condition of the lung. A cold, damp, sorry, got the right one? Hot, damp, sorry, this one here. This one over here, this one is cool, damp condition of the lung. Hot, dry condition of the lung. A hot, dry condition of the lung. When you have a hot condition of the lung and a dry condition, now you can do over here. Go over here. Can you see moss? You can use sea moss for that. You understand? When you have a hot, dry condition, now you can use the sea moss because the lung is dry. And you have to moisten your lung with your sea moss now, so you can make the sea moss as a what over here? As a tea to moisten your lung tissue. That's important. Right? So if you have a hot, dry condition, these are the tea you got to use. You got to use sea moss because no sea moss is going to dampen your lung. It's going to dampen your lung and going to moisten your lung so that the cough go away if it's dry. And then you can use what? Elecampane, red clover, ho hung for pertussis, for asthma, for inflammatory or inflammation when you have bronchitis and it's inflamed. From what? Bronchitis and thick mucus. Meaning that you have mucus in your lung and the mucus is so thick, it is very hard to bring it up. If there is mucus, if it is dry and you're coughing and there's no mucus coming up because the mucus is so thick it can't come up, you got to use expectorant plants, elecampane. You have to know. You have to know what it is. A cold, damp condition of the lung. A cold, damp condition of the lung. Thyme, ginger, orange peel. When you have fluid in the lung, when you have clear mucus, not yellow, or when you have pneumonia, what you call walking pneumonia, you have to use thyme, ginger, and orange peel. Why ginger? Because you have a cold condition. Ginger is a hot plant. Follow me. So when ginger is hot, it heats you up, heat the lungs up. For a cold, damp condition, fluid in the lung is called a cold, damp condition, or you have a clear mucus with it's not yellow, it's not infected, and you have walking pneumonia. Thyme, ginger, orange peel, saw palmetto, mullein leaf. I can use a few of them for you. Wonderful. Wonderful. When you have a cold and dry condition of the lung, astragalus, spikenard, dry cough, wheezing. So when you have a cold and dry condition, you have to use spikenard because the cough is dry, and you're wheezing when you get an asthma attack because you have wet asthma, damp asthma, and dry asthma. So when you're wheezing, and there's no dampness, we call it a dry condition of the lung. Astragalus, spikenard, saw palmetto, Prinseng, because the cough is dry and you're cold. So all these herbs will, or ginger, will help to make you feel hot. You have to know. Otherwise you make nothing using the plants. Let's go again. Hot, dry condition. Elecampane, red clover, ho hum, pertussis, whooping cough, asthma. These herbs for pertussis, asthma, inflammation, from bronchitis and thick mucus. These are the herbs for different condition of your lung. Here. Let's go now. Herbs for COPD. When you have COPD, chronic pulmonary, chronic obstructive or obstruction, pulmonary disease or disorder. Saw palmetto, mark it down. If you know somebody who has COPD, mark it down for me. Prinseng, red clover, elecampane, lobelia, black haw or ginger, especially the person have asthma. And they have spasm of the lung tissue. These are the herbs for COPD or saccharidosis or asthma or lung infection. We could add some garlic and golden seal there too. Herb for lung cancer, when you have cancer in your lung. Red clover, podiaco, licorice, cleavers, hawthorn, mistletoe, mullein leaf, cinnamon. For lung cancer. Especially if the tumor is creating mucus in the lung. You have to use these plants. Anti-tumor activity. Anti-tumor activity. Adaptogen. Moist in the lung. Cleavers for the lymphatic system. Hawthorn for the lung in case the cancer in your lung is affecting your heart. Mistletoe, shrinking plants. Mullein leaves. Cinnamon, in case there is trouble in the alveoli. The small capillaries. This herb works on the small capillaries in your lung. So you have to know. If you don't know, you'll never fix no lung troubles, man. You're going to have it forever. Be in the machines too. Juices for the lung. For COPD, asthma, lung cancer, pumpkin, yellow pepper, celery, potato, sweet potatoes with the skin, juice it, string beans, ginger, turmeric, and add some orange peel because they have anti-tumor activity. Orange peel have anti-tumor activity. Pumpkin, anything yellow for the lung. Yellow peppers, celery, potatoes, string beans, ginger, turmeric. Juice for COPD, asthma, and lung cancer. Lung infection. Mark them down because they're going to delete my videos now. Garlics, onions, yellow apples. Juice them in a juicer. That's for any kind of trouble in your lung. COPD, saccharidosis, lung infection, lung cancer, asthma, and breathing fresh air. 2 minutes of deep breathing every day. Supplements for the lung, for lung cancer and COPD. Vascustatin. If they have tumors in the lung, in the chest cavity, vascustatin. Beta-plex, with a lot of beta-carotene. Vitamin C, buffered. 20,000 milligrams per day, buffered vitamin C. MGN3. MGN3, what it does, if you have lung cancer, it triples the NK cells. This year, MGN3 triples your NK cells, your natural killer cells, to kill the cancer cells in your lung. Progreens and imkine. Beta-glucans. Beta-glucans. MGN3 triple the number of the NK cells in your immune system to kill cancer cells. Follow me. So, you're going fast, right? Wonderful. And in the process, I love this. See him here? Love him. Your children sick yet? They ain't getting sick, right?
No.
You're taking care of them, right?
Yeah.
You're giving them all the deep defense, right? You're giving them deep defense, right?
Yes.
You're giving your children deep defense, right? They get sick yet?
No.
Get any virus yet?
No.
Wonderful. You're giving your children long formula, right?
Yeah.
They get sick yet?
No.
Huh? Your Dimitri get sick yet? Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, and I wanted to talk about two local plants. This one is called Albe. Albe is a plant that from Grenada, and we use this plant for women. Women who have trouble in the menses. They have excessive amount of bleeding, what we call menorrhagia. Don't forget, Grenadians use this plant for a lot of women. The older people use it, the older ladies, the elders used to use this plant for women who have troubles in the reproductive system and bleeding. Albe they call it. And this one here we call in Grenada, we call it sugar dish. In Grenada here, it's for high cholesterol. If you have high cholesterol, we give you sugar dish. So all the Caribbean plants that we have their uses, but we don't use them. You see what I'm saying? We want to take a pill. When all these herbs are here in the Caribbean countries, Jamaica, Trinidad, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Guyana, Antigua, they're all there for us to use. We just give them different names in the Caribbean, but they're there for us to use. You know what I mean? For our women, for our men, for cholesterol, for the liver, for the heart, for the kidney. They're all there. Yeah? Wonderful. So don't forget, salt, no salt. Purple, gold. So don't let no one tell you that sea moss is not supposed to have salt. It's supposed to have salt, but they remove the salt and put their own salt in there because they want to make it look pretty, like a pretty girl. Bad character. We hear now. Now, the alveoli in your lung is like that. They're like branches. Don't forget. The alveoli in your lung is like branches. You see how one of the branches here? It's like a grape with all these branch with all these grapes in there. Your alveoli is just like that. You keep them healthy. So we're going to make a juice with some teas to keep the alveoli healthy and keep the capillaries moving. So, your base is coconut water. Not coconut water they have in New York. Coconut water. This is coconut water, not coconut water. Alright? See that here? Yeah? That's from the coconut. You don't need to drink cow milk. Calcium, magnesium, boron. Lots of things in here to keep the bones healthy, to keep your teeth healthy. You know what I mean? To keep your muscles well. Now, the salt is removed now, we could chuck it in here. And you can put mango, you can put apples, you can put grapes, you can put strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, because they're antioxidants. So they help your lung. What you can do too is, if you have lung cancer or if you have COPD or you have emphysema, which is very difficult to repair, or if you have bronchitis, you can put some pumpkin and you can mix it with some yellow peppers with the same coconut water and some sea moss. If you have a cough and the cough is dry, if you have a damp condition of the lung, when you bring up mucus, leave the sea moss out. But if there's a cough, or what we call a smoker's cough, and you're coughing on a regular basis, Without no mucus, you can add the sea moss. If there's mucus in the lung, you leave the sea moss out and put the rest in there. Yeah, you blend it up. Yeah, and you can drink that every day. You want some, son?
No. No, I'm good.
For the lung. Yeah? Wonderful. So these are things that you can do if you have asthma, if you have COPD, stay from the dairy, stay from a lot of wheat, stay from corn. If you have this condition, and juice a lot, drink a lot of these things, and you're going to take these herbs, and you're going to see your lung condition going away. But people don't have discipline. You know what I mean? And what you can do is, don't forget, you can get one onion, chop up the onion fine in fine pieces. You can use one garlic, the whole garlic, cut it up in a few pieces, and you can put it in a cheesecloth. Make sure when you have the garlic and the onions, you're going to cut them up very fine, and you're going to put them in a cheesecloth. And when you put them in a cheesecloth or like a curtain that have holes, see the holes right here? See? Like that. You can put the garlic and the onions in a curtain that have a lot of holes, like see-through. Put them there, and then you're going to take the garlic and the onions, tie them up, and put them over a steamer. Steam it with hot water. Just keep it over the pot and steam it. When they get hot, you rest it on the lung. If you have a lung infection, if you have short breath, if you have COPD, if you have scarring of the lung tissue, just drop it there and cover it with a towel for 5 to 10 minutes. It gets warm or cold, again, before you go to bed, you got a good night's sleep. You don't have no kind of respiratory troubles. You don't have short breath. See what I'm saying? That's one way. Another way you can test your lung too is to blow a balloon. You keep on blowing. You blow. You blow. If you keep on blowing and you stop about quarter way of blowing the balloon, you know your lung is no good. It's messed up. Even though you're walking up a hill and you reach not even halfway up the hill, you get tired, something wrong with your lung. Because your lung is a tender organ. So all these are things that you can do to keep the lung healthy. And then you can do breathing. Always keep the hand on the diaphragm. In the fresh air. You laughing, son? Okay, wonderful. Fresh air. Put on the diaphragm. Push it up. Because remember the lung is over here. Between the diaphragm. Push it up. If you get tired, your lung is no good. If you get tired in about 2 seconds, your lung is no good. Something on your lung. So you know. Alright? So those are things that you can do to keep the lung healthy, or if you have this condition of the lung, you can fix your lung problems. Alright? Now this sea moss and some sea moss soap. There's a brother called Dwayne, and brother had by his 45 red ingredient over here, 458-7676. Dwayne. You can get sea moss, drink with sea moss and mango, sea moss and cashews together. You know, this brother is very young brother, but he's very progressive. And I like young brothers who have vision. And we have to support our brothers and our sisters to uplift our community. You know what I mean? So I'm supporting the brother. You understand? He's making the sea moss soap. He's making the sea moss drinks. He's selling the natural sea moss because he has the sea moss, the real sea moss. So we are going to do a live video with the brother sometime before I go to Canada next week, and show you how we harvest the sea moss and what the sea moss does for you in the soap form or in the juice form. All right, we're gonna have a live video with Brother Dwayne next week. And next week, Thursday, if God give me health and strength, I am in Canada. Don't forget the date. The date of the seminar in Canada is on the 23rd of February in the Delta Hotel in Scarborough on Kennedy Road. Delta Hotel in the conference room in Scarborough on the 23rd of February, but I will be in Canada on the 20th of February, which is next Thursday. And we have a lot of patients there coming in to see our patients. I'm going to have a nice seminar dealing with hair health and hair growth, and doctors going to be there. And we're going to have a big seminar. We're going to have one of the best presentations ever teaching our people in Canada how to stay well. Bless and love. So next week, Thursday, Canada, and next week, Monday, we're going to have a live with Dwayne. And when I come up from Canada, we're going to Antigua to see the Prime Minister and the Minister of Health. And we're going to have a big seminar in Antigua again, sometime in March, early April. And we're going all over the Caribbean to teach our people to St. Lucia. We're going to Barbados. We're going to St. Lucia, Barbados. We're going to St. Thomas. We're going to the Virgin Islands also. Bless and love. So don't forget to love your neighbor as yourself. And don't forget to what? Use the herbs for the healing of the nation. Bless and love. And give thanks and praise to Jehovah God, the only true God of the heavens and the earth. Bless and love. Give thanks and praises. Okay, yeah. And don't forget now that the website is KRISTYBWKS.biz. That's our website. I want to mention this again. We shut down the website, the sales of certain products for a while, because you know we have some problem with the person who was shipping for us, and because I'm not in New York, and we have trust our people, one person to do the shipping. Sometimes we don't ship the people, and then people start to complain about they can't get the product, and they want to go back to PayPal and make a that and rah. So I went to New York and I stayed an extra week and I shipped out everybody's stuff to them, but I'm not there now. So my advice to my wife was to cut down on some of the, don't ship any products out unless we have something that's fully soundproof so that people don't complain. You understand? Because I don't want to, the first thing black people say is, oh, you're a scammer, you're a thief, you're a robber. That's all I want to say. So I don't want to have them names on me, so I prefer to close my things down until it is fully equipped to be moved, and then I will open it back again. For now, we only have the long formula and the deep defense for the long troubles. That's all I'm going to push for now. I'm going to do anything else again. So don't order for nothing else again, because things are not really in place, because this person who was taking care of the business messed it up. Have all my products in his house still. He ain't moved yet. But I don't care what's spoiled milk. You understand? Because once we do things together as black people, we seem to have all these big ideas. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want it to happen. So, you know, I don't want anybody to say that we scamming them and rah. Because I ain't going to scam for $30. We ain't going to scam for $100. We ain't going to scam for $500. That's nothing. That don't last in a week. You know what I mean? So, you know, people have to be patient and have understanding. You know, we're not a big company. So please understand, and that's the reason why, to avoid the bad name, I just close down all the other products. As you can see, it says out of stock. We have it, but it's out of stock. I have to go back and start all over again because of the problem we had with the brother. You understand? But that's okay. I start all over again. That's all good. God blessing me anyway. I have blessings. Blessings is not riches. Blessings is life to me. So this is the only two products for the time being on the website until we have everything in place so that we could ship properly from here to America. It will take a longer time, but that's the only way we can do it for now, till we have somebody who we can trust to do our business properly. So only the deep defense and the long formula is going to be on the website for now. KRISTYBWKS.biz. That's the only two we have. I shut down everything else because I don't want nobody calling me no scammer. You understand? Blessed love and give thanks and praise to the Most High, Jehovah God. And love your neighbor as yourself. And be true to each other. Blessed love. Give thanks. Love always to everybody. Love your neighbor as yourself, man. I'm here to scam nobody. We're here to do the right things. God can never treat me right if I scam people. I can't sleep in the night time. You know what I mean? So, and everybody who went to PayPal, my wife went back and gave you all your refund, and that's all good. Because once you want a refund, we give you back a refund. Because nobody can come and say, I'm scamming anybody. You understand? It's no scam business. It's real stuff, man. I'm scamming everybody, but I'm on Facebook giving information for free, but I'm a scammer. Come on, man, that's common sense. Yeah, man. Real, man.